Okay, there we go. Welcome once again to some Wargame Red Dragon action. It's going to be on the, I don't know, some naval map. I said it a bit earlier on, but I wasn't recording actually. But hopefully I'm recording it now just fine and dandy. And yeah, it's going to be 1 versus 1. NATO, or rather, we'll just call it NATO versus Pact, essentially. And yeah, before I started recording, and on the stream itself, I was just talking about how I still liked naval in this game, despite the fact that I had command modern air naval operations as well. Man, you gotta love the detailing in that water. Very fancy, the ground underneath and all that. Yeah, I mean, command modern air naval operations is, let me say that again, command modern air naval operations is, yeah, pretty damn fun actually. Incredibly detailed, incredibly unforgiving, but pretty damn fun. And well, naval in this game is still pretty good as well. I mean, granted, the ranges for ships have been reduced pretty significantly, so it feels kind of silly for them to be launching anti-ship missiles at less than 10 kilometers range. But what the hell? It's still interesting to play, especially given how asymmetric NATO and Pact forces are. But we should be finding out about that at a later stage in this match. But yeah, as you can see, Magic 9 starting off with Janku Freeze and Huijan, and that's it. Huijan, yeah, its gun range is not that great. It does have great missile range. Strength isn't too bad. Kills is pretty nice as well. Janku Freeze, on the other hand, yeah, they got pretty good not ATGMs, got pretty good ASMs, anti-ship missiles. Their Kills is very good on the other hand, and they also got some alright defensive missiles as well. And the main guns, yeah, the main guns aren't too bad either. They got much better range compared to the Huijans at the very least. So there's that to consider. And yeah, as for myself, we're going to be going with a couple of Panthers just to just to scout out the enemy. And we've got Oliver Hazard Perry for capping mostly. The Congo and the Lafayette as slightly more significant combat, well, flagships, I suppose you could say. The Congo being the flagship, obviously, Lafayette being one of the fancier NATO frigates as well. So yeah, very fancy indeed. Its strength is not that great for cost, but all its other stats are pretty damn good actually. Its stealth is medium even, and its ACM is 60% even. So damn good ACM actually. And not only that, but we've also got Tornado MFG coming in as well, and the Yanku is down. Very nicely done, this guy, getting panicked, but not destroyed and not too heavily damaged even. Very nice hit on the Yanku frigates there. Actually, is it a frigate? Yes it is. And down he goes into the briny depths. Gotta love those reflections. Very fancy. Very fancy indeed. But yeah, my opponent is starting to get a few extra score points coming in though, so he's definitely going to have the initial advantage, kind of like the previous round actually. But I am moving in my own stuff around, you know, just to actually take a few more points than him. And yeah, we'll see how that works out. He does have, well, it's funny actually, because all my stuff, all my ships are capital ships, as in they can capture, actually, do they count them as command ships? Well, command ships then, yeah, because they can capture zones, while yeah, it looks like Magic has invested a little bit more into non-command ships, and we'll see how that works out. And he's also got a couple of very fancy Su-27Ks, and they're right behind my lines. What kind of damage will they do? Well, we'll find out. Nothing, because they only get one ASM each. Although, yeah, they do get very good AMRAMs though, I believe that's what they're called, which are not just air-to-air missiles, radar based, and was it, yeah, very good range as well, and fine forget. So yeah, basically put, they're the go-to air sub aircraft for Pact naval forces. And yeah, generally put, you don't really use them against ships because they just got one single ASM, and they're incredibly expensive as well. They're not really the sort of thing you want to be sending in, especially with only one ASM. But there you have it, finally going to be getting more score points than Magic 9 coming in. We'll just fast forward a little bit. Fast forward quite a bit, hopefully. And yeah, I'll get into the action as well. Yeah, I don't know what Magic was thinking actually with his Su-27K, thinking he could just send 2 of them out like that and that'll be that. But well, he's coming in again, and let's just see what happens. Oh, actually, oh, these tornadoes, thankfully not getting targeted. Oliver Hazard Perry does take a bit of damage, doesn't go down though. We'll just slow things down a bit there. The Tomcat is yeah, the go-to interceptor for the Pact. Sorry, not for Pact, for NATO air. And there we go. Both of these guys managed to escape. Yeah, both Tornado MFGs. Very nicely done. And take out a Huijin, I believe. Yeah, anyway, the Tomcat here, definitely a premier interceptor plane for NATO. It's bizarre because Pact, they do get their own interceptor variant, well, interceptor counterpart, I suppose you could say. Two of them, in fact. Yeah, actually, I think it's two of them, the MiG-31 and the MiG-31M. But they only get them for the USSR deck, and they don't even get them for naval or anything like that. So, on naval-only maps, or well, on any map that allows naval units to be called in, you can call in the really fancy Tomcats. But yeah, Pact forces, you have to be USSR, and you have to basically call them in like regular aircraft. So, yeah, very bizarre balance in my opinion, because yeah, interceptor aircraft, you only have a couple of them. Well, you only have the Tomcat for all of NATO, and the MiG-31, MiG-31M for the USSR on the Pact side. So yeah, you've only got a couple of aircraft for interception duties, but they're, well, as you can see, I mean, that Tomcat shot down one of the MiG something or others, one of those MiGs. I think it was a MiG-21 SK or something like that. Yeah, they're just pretty good against enemy planes, basically. They can shoot them from literally from across the map. I mean, their accuracy is not that great, but it does increase the closer they get to their target, and given how big the maximum ranges are, basically put, their accuracy is not going to be sorry, their accuracy is not going to be that bad at all. But Magic is definitely not out of the race. I mean, I'm getting more score points coming in now, but well, Magic is starting to build up though. Definitely is starting to build up. Fast forward a bit actually. But for pain in the ass with naval matches against people who are not too aggressive. So here's a quick tip: if you find yourself, if you find yourself playing, oh, okay. Anyway, playing naval in, I think they all survived, good. Yeah, if you find yourself playing naval in this game, one thing to keep in mind is that generally NATO's got slightly better planes, and generally the Pact guys have got slightly better ships. Of course, I mean, you can still, it's not like as if Pact don't have shit planes and NATO doesn't have no, it's not as if they don't have, yeah, shit planes and shit boats respectively, but yeah, generally put, the Pact has to be a bit more aggressive than NATO in terms of naval shipping. The way that Magic is playing, deploying his ships around in a bit of a scatter formation, and he's just not attacking at all basically. He's deploying them around, and he's attacking with the wrong type of aircraft as well. The MiG-29K, I think, SK, whatever it was called, it's just not meant to be used like that. That's the problem. It's mostly an air superiority plane. I mean, technically it's a multi-role, but it's really one single anti-ship missile, for God's sake. I mean, granted, it does a bit of damage, but it just, yeah, it's one, for fuck's sake. Anyway, let's have a look. We've got a Tarantula 3 coming in as well, a bit of a glass cannon, as you can see, but damn good anti-ship missile range. Its gun range is kind of shitty. It does have Stellar 2Ms as well, which are not that great either. Its kills, on the other hand, is pretty good actually, so there you go, there's that to take into account. But yeah, I mean, in any case, I'm still getting more score points coming in, and yeah, I mean, I'm generally playing NATO the way that NATO is meant to be played, at least as far as I understand it. Using planes quite a bit for offense. Oh, so it wasn't the MiG, it was the Su-27K, of course. Whoops. Okay, the Su-27K, yeah, that's what I was talking about before, rather than the MiG-27K. But anyway, yeah, with NATO, yeah, you generally want to try to avoid naval confrontation, unless if you can be very much assured that you're in a great position, in a really good position, basically. I mean, technically, Pact sort of has to worry about positioning and all that as well. I mean, of course they do. But not as, I mean, generally put, they're meant to attack. Their ships are just more offensive, yes, more offensive in general compared to the NATO ships. I mean, NATO of course does get offensive ships and all that, but it just doesn't work quite the same way. And there goes the MiG, the Su-27K as well. There we go. We've got a couple of Sturb 90Hs coming in as well for myself. So these are very interesting little gunboats, because they count as river-going ships. They cannot be targeted by anti-ship missiles, and they've got their own ATGMs which can't be shot down at all. Accuracy is actually not too bad. The stabilizer is, well, they basically need to be standing still really to fire, but actually Not fire and forget, no, it's semi-active, of course. So basically, I'm mostly deploying them because they got better range than the Hujan's main gun. Yeah, 2,800 compared to 2,625. Trenchal, on the other hand, it does outrange them though, so yeah. I mean, if I play my cards right, I should be able to take on the Hujan and only take a couple of shots maybe from the Trenchal and the Udaloi too. If I deploy them around here, just try to get this thing, you know, on a corner, like from like a corner angle, but nope, he's just going to be sending them back, just freaking dandy. And yeah, interesting. Oh, actually, let's just see what's happening here. Oops. Let's see. Oh dear. Oh dear indeed. I don't know what the hell I was thinking sending up that Tomcat like that, but I lost the Tomcat and some sort of a anti-ship plane as well, probably an F111G or something like that. So, very nasty indeed. Tomcats, as you can see, they don't fare too well in close combat. I mean, they do get a couple of infrared missiles and their cannon's not too shabby, but really, once they get into close combat with other planes, they kind of fall apart a bit there. So, bit of an ill-advised attack by myself there. I just wanted to try to take out the Janku Free, and not even that worked. I'm going to be moving up a Panther, probably just for surveillance, or maybe even just to use the missiles against it. Probably won't work though, because it's going to fire them like one at a time. So, there you go, there's that to consider. And I mean, I've still got 1 point coming in anyway for score points. Sturbs are still going to just be camping out here, not really doing too much. I think we'll fast forward once again. So, to get a couple of flashpoints here and there. The Panther does try to fire off a couple of ASMs, doesn't do too much. Janku Free is on fire, and yet the fire doesn't actually do any damage. It's purely cosmetic, which kind of seems a bit silly, but oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, MiG-29K. Why the hell is he still trying to use them in an offensive capacity is beyond me, but as you can see, that didn't work out too well for him. He gets shot down by the Tomcat. Very nicely done, old chummy, old chap. And yeah, nothing but a thin wisp of smoke remaining, and that is soon gone as well. So yeah, overall things are not looking too good for Magic 9. He could be a little bit more offensive, and there we go, finally he's going to be a bit more offensive. So a bit more offensive, about damn time. So there you go, we'll have a nice little look at the Udaloi 2. Interesting fact behind the Udaloi 2, I believe, unless if I'm mistaken, but I'm pretty sure that they were actually designed as an anti-submarine ship, rather than, or rather I should say, a anti-submarine warfare ship, rather than a interesting. Anyway, yeah, anti-submarine warfare ship, rather than an anti-surface ship. Or was that the Udaloi 1, or just the Udaloi that was designed as that, or maybe the Udaloi 2? I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure. Actually, no, I'm pretty sure that the Udaloi 2 was meant to be a anti-submarine. God, why am I so tongue-tied? Anti-submarine ship, anti-submarine warfare ship. But yeah, what the hell? I mean, it works alright just fine in this game, I suppose, as a repurposed. Oh, yeah, managed to escape. Anyway, a repurposed anti-surface ship. Why not? In fact, I actually deployed these guys in favour of the Sovremir, which I believe, yeah, Sovremir is actually meant to be like an anti-surface ship mostly. Yeah, the Udaloi 2, yeah, it's got exceptional kills compared to the very good kills of the Sovremir. Strength is 300 compared to 250. I think even the ECM is maybe a bit better. And yeah, I mean, generally, I just prefer it. I mean, its anti-air missiles are not as long range, but as you can see, its reload time is 1 second, so that's not too bad. And I believe it gets, yeah, it does get less cannon rounds compared to the Sovremir, but usually that's not too much to worry about, provided that you keep it properly resupplied. So there you have it, an exhaustive look at the Udaloi 2 and the absent Sovremir, which maybe Magic is going to be bringing in. Dear. Anyway, maybe he's going to be bringing it in. I just don't know. Have to wait and see. Oh, there we go. Speak of the devil, here comes the Sovremir right here. There we go, disabling all the anti-ship missiles and all that. Tornado F111G coming in. What the hell? Oh, okay, I sent in the Tomcat. I think I was trying to, yeah, I think I was trying to goad my opponent into trying to engage my planes preemptively with his own Su-29Ks. Didn't quite work out too well, actually. Now I have to wait for those guys to refuel. Whoops, sonk. Oh, well, there we go. Finally, Magic 9 is slowly but surely starting to make his way over to me, and yeah, unsurprisingly, I'm going to be retreating all my ships back. just to buy a bit more time for myself. I mean, even then, after all this, I've still got more score points than he does, so he's basically going to have to knock out my fleet really at this point. I don't think he can really win on score points, but we'll see what happens though. We'll see what happens. And because he doesn't have Echo anymore, he doesn't have access to the very close air corridor as well, so I don't know why he decided to give that up. But there we go, he did it. The Sovereign has taken a bit of damage. Thankfully my planes managed to get out of there, and he didn't actually send up his own planes either. Probably figured that, you know, it was a bit too far away to send out his planes, and just said screw it. Although yeah, I'm surprised I didn't just keep a cheap I'm surprised I didn't just keep a cheap capping ship or command ship back here just to keep Echo capped, because I mean he's going to have to reinforce from all the way back here for starters. Okay, I don't know what that Tomcat was doing. He's going to have to reinforce from all the way back here from starters, and well, he's also missing out on getting another score point as well actually. So yeah. Granted, the only command ships that he's got left are the Ordeloy and the Sovereign, and he's also got the Janko Free. Huh. Interesting. Well, what he should have done in that case, of course hindsight's 2020, is that he should have left these guys back here to keep Echo captured, and then he could have swiveled swiveled the Janko Free over here and then sent everything out forward. Yeah, that actually wouldn't be such a bad idea, because then he could reinforce directly from Echo, and it's basically on my doorstep there, so it would have definitely well, he would have done better, basically, than what he's doing at the moment. So, in any case, battle is finally joined, and yeah, this is probably going to be the deciding anti-surface warfare battle of the match. How is this going to work out? Well, just have to find out. Anti-ship missiles are enabled on all accounts, except on the Sovereign there. A bit of a mistake by Magic 9, I suppose he just mismicroed there. Still kind of, yeah. That's the thing though, these sorts of battles, every single ASM counts, because they do so much damage individually, but of course they should get shot down relatively easily as well, so sometimes, you know, it's just getting that extra missile in and getting that extra hit in that, you know, can actually be the difference between a ship getting sunk and managing to survive. But oh well, what can you do? You also got another Oliver Hazard Perry coming in as well, a little bit late to the party though. It's going to mostly waste its anti-ship missiles there. But the Sovereign is probably going to get destroyed, and finally firing off its own ASMs, but yeah, it's doing it a little bit too late unfortunately. But oh well, better late than never I suppose. Sovereign is in quite a world of plain pain, and yeah, he's most likely going to go down. There's still quite a battle, we'll just hide this actually, why not? Just so we can get a closer view of this. There we go. Ooh, very nice little sunset, look at that. Go, just like my thumbnail actually. Okay, well he's retreating. He's actually going to blow up. Let's see. No, I'm still targeting him, so I think he's actually going to blow up, and there we go. Very spectacular nonetheless. So the Muna also getting a bit of trouble there. I can't remember what the hell these things were, the Tarantulas? No, the Hujans. Ordeloy 2 is still going strong though, and still got plenty of cannon shots though. So what is he going to be reinforcing with? The MiG-29K... Wait a minute, it's got 4 ASMs? Ah, I think I mixed that up with the other MiG that he sent in with only 1 ASM. Okay, well that's a little bit better. Okay, it's much better obviously for ASMs, but it's only 1 plane. And yeah, he knows that there are Tomcats operating in the area. So, again, I don't know why he's trying to attack like that. Yep, getting shot down. As Pact, you generally can't rely on your planes as often as NATO does. Or as heavily as NATO does. He's going to be reinforcing, but yeah, look at this. He should have swung this Janko Free over here to keep Echo captured so he can reinforce properly, because yeah, as you can see now he's basically going to get torn apart piecemeal. And yeah, things are just not going to go too well for him. In fact, I'm just sending in Sturb 90Hs here, presumably because I've probably run out of the other ships to reinforce with. Still, his Ordeloy 2 is still alive. His Hujans are shaken, okay, now worried, but not stirred. And the Congo for myself, yeah, still alive. I think I managed to mostly keep my stuff alive actually. I think I lost a single Oliver Hazard Perry, and yeah, I think that's about it actually. So I think I just lost that Oliver Hazard Perry, and everything else is moderately damaged. The Congo is almost dead, but no, he's still going strong. Still going strong, plenty of cannon shots. you go around. Speaking of which, I should be focused firing on something, for God's sake. What the hell is this thing doing? I don't even know. But yeah, the F1Gs should be able to do a bit of damage. Did I try to go into the Ordillo 2 directly? I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, planes coming in. Tranquil's finally getting into the fray, but a little bit too little too late actually. And the Lafayette's getting way too close to the action. In fact, actually starting to run out of ammunition here, bizarrely enough. Ran out of ASMs though, but here come the Strubert 90Hs to the rescue. Why not, eh? Let's see how that works out. If I actually stop them from firing on the move, that would be a good thing as well. But there we go, yep, doing a bit of damage here and there, but the Huijans, they got loads of HP to work through. And the Sturbs, as you can see, well, 26 AP power isn't too bad, but yeah, compared to ships, yeah. Had to have well, they had to score 4 successful hits basically to yeah, there we go. 4 successful hits to actually destroy a Huijin even, and Huijin's got pretty basic amount of health. I mean, only 100 points for God's sake. And down they go nonetheless. Bam. But Tranquils have arrived, and Magic 9 for some reason is using them in a frontal combat situation. I don't know why the hell he's doing it that way. That's very strange. Yeah, I think he's a bit inexperienced when it comes to naval combat. I mean, granted, it's not something you see too often in Wargame Red Dragon. I still like to play it though, to say the least. Speaking of which, looks like I've once again retreated my ships just to get them all fixed up, rearmed, resupplied, and ready to kick some Soviet butt. Or packed butt, you know what I mean. Well, technically in the game it's actually called a red fort butt, but there you go. Gonna be kicking something, I'm sure. Yeah, this Tranquil freeze, just go back to their stats again, yeah. Half health compared to the, less than half health actually, compared to the amount of points you have to spend in actually getting them. So yeah, I don't know why the hell he actually went for them and then sent them so far forward. I mean, especially given the range of their ASMs, they really are supposed to operate, you know, behind other ships, for God's sake. And they got the range to do that as well. I mean, if we have a look at the ASMs for my ships, let's see, 8750, 7000, what about the Congo? 8750, so they seem to go up to 8750 maximum from what I can tell. 8750 and 9450, oops, 9450, yeah, there we go, these guys have got the advantage, definitely, when it comes to ASMs, so I don't know why the hell he actually sent them so far forward. He might have actually sent them so far forward because of the fact that he wasn't actually scouting with his helicopters. As you can see, I've had my Panthers out for pretty much the entire game. One of them's taken a bit of a beating, but still, yeah, I mean, they've been there since literally the beginning of the game. And yeah, they've been providing pretty good intelligence. In fact, we'll just have a look at that. They're literally indicating everything on the map. In fact, this Panther can literally see the reinforcement zone. Look at that. I can see them as they warp in, basically. It's there it is. I mean, granted, he did try to target one of the Panthers, didn't quite manage to take it out though. So, man, oh man. So, I don't know why he didn't send out his own helicopters for scouting. You need to do that. You really need to do that in naval battles. Actually, even in command modern and naval operations, it's pretty important to do that as well. Surprise, surprise. You know, to send out other crafts to act as spotters for your heavy hitters and for your important craft and all that. Yeah, well, what can you do? The Panther is actually going to try to pick off this Muna, which might have worked if it actually had enough ASMs, but I think it only had like 1 remaining, and well, there you go. He's panicked, he's on fire, but yeah, fire does nothing to ships, so just wish they'd actually had a movement sound. Oh well, more Muna's coming in. Let's just fast forward this actually. I don't think anything's actually going to happen. In fact, I'm actually surprised he reinforced with so many Munas rather than actual combat ships. I mean, not that he really stands much of a chance anyway, but still. As you can see though, he definitely could have made some better choices as the game progressed, and yeah. I dare say I didn't do such a bad job keeping my stuff alive. Probably could have saved the Oliver Hazard parry before. I think I basically just sent it forward, and then it's yeah, it basically got focused fired and then destroyed. So that's the end of that chapter. Still, there we go. And the map was apparently Standoff in Barents. Pretty good stuff indeed. So, oh, actually, kills listed. Only one though. F111G. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, F111G. Okay. Oh, that's Australian. Killed off the Tranchal free. Okay, well, there were way more kills than that, but well, there you go. Indeed. I shall see you all next time. Go. God, I don't know what the hell's going on with my throat and all that, but there you go. Anyway, yeah, enough blabbering on. I shall see YouTube people. I shall see you all next time.